Muhammad Ali fought 61 fights. Joe Frazier fought just 37. Sugar Ray Leonard fought 39. And Marvin Hagler, 67. Few fighters have ever lasted 100 fights, and even fewer great ones. Julio Cesar Chavez is on course to do it, 100 fights. Blocking his path is David Kamau, undefeated, #1 contender. Catch Chavez September 16th, because after 100 fights, it's over. Chavez versus Kamau, one of 4 championship fights, Saturday, September 16th, live on pay-per-view.
September 16th is a particularly important day for Mexico's proud son, Julio Cesar Chavez. For September 16th is Mexican Independence Day. It's a collision course toward a rubber match, a milestone on a long and arduous journey. Another chance to prove himself the world's very best. WBC super lightweight champion Julio Cesar Chavez defends his belt against David Kamau in an unprecedented 98th fight, a bout that marks yet one more step in his countdown to 100 wins. In 1810, Miguel Hidalgo rallied a band of native Mexicans to revolt against the oppression of Spanish rule. This brave rebellion sparked the battle for Mexican independence. Today, hero to his country, loved by his people, Julio Cesar Chavez is also no stranger to overcoming the battles of adversity. Ever mindful of his modest beginnings, after every fight, Chavez invariably returns home to his wife and adoring children. That home is in Culiacan, Mexico, the very same town where his brilliant career was born. A religious man of few, if any, pretensions, Chavez indulges in the hard-earned pride and simple admiration of family, his family at home and his family at large.
Ser campeón del mundo, esa era la meta mía, era lo que yo anhelaba.
He said he wanted more than anything to become a world champion. This he wanted since he was a little boy, to take his mother away from poverty, to take his family from poverty.
But there are others singularly less impressed with this explosive national hero, others who desire nothing more than to see the dynasty fall. Among them, David Kamau, the WBC's #1 contender. If Chavez traces his fighter's blood to noble Mayan warriors, Kamau conjures his fighting spirit from the warriors of ancient Kenya. Descendant of a warrior family, David Kamau learned to fight in the ghettos of Kenya, Africa. But it wasn't until he witnessed the thriller in Manila that he knew he wanted to box. Yes, the African warrior lay dormant in Kamau. But his boyhood idol, Muhammad Ali, stoked up the ancient fire.
I got interested in boxing in 1975. I was 10 years old. I was watching Muhammad Ali fighting Joe Frazier in Philippine Manila. And from that time I said, oh, I want to be like Muhammad Ali. And I got interested in boxing, but it took me for about 5 years before joining boxing, because I started boxing in 1980. But my dream was like to be like Muhammad Ali, because I grew up having that image in my mind that I want to be like Muhammad Ali.
After 6 years of shadow boxing with the memory of Ali, Kamau began his amateur career. A career that would take him to the top of the Kenyan and African national championships and eventually secure for him a quarterfinals berth at the 1988 Olympics.
After getting to the semifinal for Olympic trials, I knew I can make it. And the next year, 1985, I was in the national team going to present the country for World Championship, which it was in Seoul, Korea. I stayed this residential training, and after that, the last week, the government didn't have enough money. They had to drop about 4 fighters, which I was among the 4 fighters who were being left behind. And I said, I can't give it up, because I was in the team, I made the team. So let's see what's going to happen next year. The next year, which was 1986, I went to Bangkok, Thailand for King's Cup, which I won a silver.
His professional career has been similarly formidable. In 1991, he stopped the current WBO world champion, Sammy Fuentes. After a number of impressive victories, he scored a second-round TKO against world-rated Jorge Palomari in 1994. 1 year later, he would score a TKO against Gilberto Flores.
No, I'm not saying Chavez is a hard fighter or whatever. Although he's a good fighter, he has been there for a long time. He's a puncher, he's a guy who has been, I respect him for that. But it's time for Chavez to go. You know, to me, no doubt in my mind, I'll be the next world champion on September 16.
Today, Kamau is speeding toward a head-on collision with Julio Cesar Chavez. When we return, both fighters will make their predictions.
Few fighters have ever lasted 100 fights, and even fewer great ones. But that's what Julio Cesar Chavez is on course to do. September 16th, he meets undefeated David Kamau. Don't miss it, because after 100 fights, it's over. Chavez versus Kamau, one of 4 championship fights, Saturday, September 16th, live on pay-per-view.
92 professional fights, 77 knockouts, 5 world titles. Now, relive the glory, the fury, the awesome power of Julio Cesar Chavez's greatest fights. Available now for the first time on this exclusive video special from the Best of Don King, Chavez the Legend. Call now, 1-800-77-HULIO. And for $19.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling, you can relive the historic moments from Chavez Hagen, Chavez Camacho, Chavez Hernandez, plus many more. Call now with your credit card, and for only $19.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling, you can receive the show of a lifetime, Julio Cesar Chavez, the Legend.
Hi, I'm Gloria, and our ring girl operators are waiting to take your calls. Credit cards only by phone, or send checks or money orders to Chavez the Legend, P.O. Box 2786, Van Nuys, California, 91404.
Also available at selected Blockbuster locations.
No professional bout is ever complete without an up-close and personal interview of the fighters. During our recent conversation, both fighters boldly staked their claim on victory. We asked Chavez why the Kamau fight is significant.
I want 100 wins. That's something I'm very serious about. I'm still in very good shape, and I still love to box.
David Kamau comments on the importance of this fight.
Since the day I was told I'm going to fight Chavez, I've been so happy. I thank God every second, every minute, because that was my goal, that was my dream, to fight for the world champion. Not only to fight, to be a world champion, which is going to happen on September 16.
Chavez, and what he thinks of David Kamau.
Bueno, lo que pasa es que lo he visto pelear,
I've seen him fight on video. He's a tall fighter who throws good, strong punches with good combinations. This is going to be one of the toughest opponents I've had to face.
Kamau on his strategy for this fight.
I can punch, I can move, I can have fun, just relax, not get hit, let him pay, counter every time. Any mistake he's going to be doing, he's going to be paying for that. You got to be focused for everything, because it's a big, you get a chance once in a lifetime, you better make use of it. And I got the chance here, I got to make use of it, no doubt in my mind.
Chavez on how he prepared himself mentally.
I won't be distracted by anything. I'm going to focus and concentrate only on Kamau, Kamau, Kamau. I won't think of anything but what strategy will give me the greatest advantage.
Kamau comments on Julio Cesar Chavez.
He's slow. He got this. He's Chavez. He's going to just come straight to me. Just body, head, that's all. He ain't going to try to jab with me. You want to just try to close the fight. If you're going to make, As I told you, I can punch, I can box. If he come close, I'm going to pick him up with uppercuts. If he stay away there, I'm going to beat him with the jab. So the best thing, he doesn't have, he doesn't need to step with the ring with me. He's better just stay away. That's all.
Chavez on his strategy.
Bueno, tratar de metérmele a su guardia y le meterme.
I'm going to try to break his guard down. I've got to throw my punches up high, and I've got to attack strongly from the right side. When I get in close, I work the body.
Y aparte el gancho del hígado lo puedes trabajar muy bien.
David Kamau and his prediction for the fight.
No doubt in my mind. I win. We don't have to predict that. I'm gonna be a world champion. As I said, I respect Chavez, but no doubt in my mind, I'll be the next world champion. I respect him, but in my mind, no doubt.
Chavez on Kamau's prediction of victory.
Bueno, ya veremos el día de la pelea.
We'll see on the day of the fight.
This fight is far from over. The clock is still ticking. The countdown is very much on. And the force behind this supercharged bout is the inimitable Don King.
It's something to see this animalistic passion in the middle of the ring. Two bodies really honed and sharpened, and listen, sweat perspiring and jumping from them as they throw blow after blow, pommeling each other into submission.
In Chavez's nearly flawless countdown to 100 professional fights, there is but one speed bump on this stretch of destiny. Frankie the Surgeon Randall. In January of 1994, after a difficult and heart-wrenching decision, Chavez's perfect record was over. It is Chavez's only loss to date, one he will never forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and new champion, Frankie the Surgeon Randall.
But Chavez would have his day in the ring to recover the belt he lost. The matchup would bring both ex-champion and new champion together once again.
He can't get out of the way of that straight right hand, and Chavez is still not 100%. Combination to the head by Randall, but back comes Chavez with a purpose. Second. Get him up, get him up. Now Chavez unloaded, going into short and crisp. Back comes Chavez with uppercuts with the left.
In a controversial decision, setting the stage perhaps for a very rare third meeting, Chavez regained the title. Coming up, an undercard that promises to be just as explosive.
Muhammad Ali fought 61 fights. Joe Frazier fought just 37. Sugar Ray Leonard fought 39. And Marvin Hagler, 67. Few fighters have ever lasted 100 fights, and even fewer great ones. Julio Cesar Chavez is on course to do it. 100 fights. Blocking his path is David Kamau, undefeated, #1 contender. Catch Chavez September 16th. Because after 100 fights, it's over. Chavez versus Kamau, one of 4 championship fights. Saturday, September 16th, live on pay-per-view.
Also scheduled 3 more championship bouts, including terrible Terry Norris against a top-rated contender. In November of 1994, after hitting Luis Santana in the back of the head, terrible Terry Norris lost his WBC Super Welterweight Championship belt by disqualification. In their rematch last April, Norris was again disqualified, this time for knocking out Santana after the bell had rung.
Another one. Don't do that. Don't do that.
In what will remain one of boxing's most bizarre moments, a battered Santana was proclaimed champion twice while being taken from the ring on a stretcher after each fight.
The referee told me it was an intentional foul after the bell. The rules are, if you cannot continue after an intentional foul, the winner will be by disqualification, and that will be Mr. Santana.
On August 19, 1995, Norris regained his WBC Super Welterweight title by knocking out Luis Santana in 2 rounds. Now, just 4 weeks after regaining his title, Norris will put it on the line against a top-rated contender. Don King Productions, in conjunction with Showtime Event Television and the Mirage Hotel and Casino, presents championship boxing at its best. 3 championship bouts, live on pay-per-view: Julio Cesar Chavez versus David Kamau. Terrible Terry Norris versus a top-rated contender. Antonio Cermeno versus Jesus Salud. 6 warriors, 3 battles, 1 chance to see history in the making. For Julio Cesar Chavez, David Kamau is 1 more step in the countdown to 100. For David Kamau, this fight is a once-in-a-lifetime shot at adding his name to the legendary annals of boxing. Choosing to fight on Mexican Independence Day, Chavez, loved by all of Mexico, cannot afford to lose. David Kamau, on the other hand, has nothing to lose and everything to gain. And as we witness time after time with a championship bout, it always comes down to who wants it more. One who would stake his claim to the crown?
I'll be the next world champion.
Or he who must presently defend it?
The win.
Witness a man who defies limitation, an athlete who signifies the best of his sport. The unstoppable Julio Cesar Chavez. Don't miss this prodigious event, the countdown to 100. WBC Super Lightweight Champion Julio Cesar Chavez defends his title on Mexican Independence Day against WBC #1 contender David Kamau. Also that night, WBC Super Welterweight Champion Terrible Terry Norris defends his title against a top-rated contender. And WBA Junior Featherweight Champion Antonio Cermeno takes on Jesus Salou. Don't miss this explosive night of historic boxing entertainment. It's Countdown to 100, only on pay-per-view.
Can I ask for one guy? What can I get?